Hi there, friends. Welcome and thank you for joining us for another informative weekend edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. Inside the pages today, the agenda for healthcare development, how to properly lose weight and tone the body, and technology in the teaching and learning process. Stick and stay for these and much more in this half hour. It all unfolds right after this quick break.
Know your numbers and control the keys to a healthier heart. Know the numbers for your blood pressure, cholesterol level, blood glucose level, and your weight and body mass index. Find out the risks they represent and what you need to do to stay healthy. Talk to your doctor and start making healthy lifestyle choices to prevent a heart attack or stroke.
Thanks again for being here. Public health transformation continues as part of Vision 2030, Jamaica's National Development Plan. We are opening the pages with a look at some of the developments in the public health sector for the 2023-2024 fiscal year.
They steered us through the COVID-19 pandemic, which is no longer a global emergency. Now, refocused attention on building out Jamaica's public health infrastructure, increasing access to care and quality of service.
This year, the ministry has provided a capital budget of $6.43 billion, 31% increase in what has been provided for financial year 2022-23. We have more money to spend on our capital budget.
The build-out of the new 250-bed Western Children and Adolescent Hospital moves apace this year.
Western Child and Adolescent Hospital is now on its 5th floor. It's building, it's going up. That is work in progress, Madam Speaker. We have spent through the grant from the Chinese government, some $450 million, and we are slated for completion in 2025.
The third and final phase of the Cornwall Regional Hospital's rehabilitation work to create a new state-of-the-art health infrastructure commences this year with completion set for 2024.
There's a $14 billion expenditure associated with that, and that means the internals, and we expect that we will begin to reoccupy the main building by the end of this year.
Other capital projects include the start of construction for the new Spanish Town Hospital, which will see $6.4 billion in expenditure over 2 years.
This state-of-the-art 7-story, 100-bed facility will boast 7 operating theaters, a new accident and emergency center, a new pharmacy, several other support services including lab and other diagnostic services. Under these investments, the Spanish Town Hospital will see services expanded in cardiology, oncology, hematology, ophthalmology, and ENT, Madam Speaker.
$300 million has been allocated for work to reroute the ring road at the University Hospital of the West Indies and clearing construction site for a new 6-story medical facility projected to cost $30 million.
When you summarize the expenditure, you're talking about 27 billion Jamaican dollars, or US 178 million. Cornwall Regional, 14 billion left to be spent. Western Children Adolescent, 5 billion left to be spent. Spanish Town, 7 billion to be spent. UHWI, 3 billion to be spent.
In addition to these, significant infrastructure work is also progressing at 10 health centers, which are being built or renovated under an IDB and EU-funded project. The regional health authorities, National Health Fund and Chase Fund are also carrying out projects to expand Jamaica's health infrastructure in the 2023-2024 fiscal year and beyond. There is a mission to modernize public health in Jamaica. It includes a $754 million contract for a digital integrated health information system to facilitate telehealth and telemedicine.
This year, we'll continue the implementation of 15 health centers and the full rollout of electronic health record system in these facilities by early 2024.
Digitization of the health system is also continuing in another 105 health centers. A $1.26 billion contract was signed earlier this year with Cable and Wireless to provide ICT tools for the initiative.
It means, Madam Speaker, shorter transaction time, so less wait, because patient files are not kept in a hard copy file somewhere that sometimes can't be found. It means telemedicine, serving remote areas over long distances where specialists are not available. Madam Speaker, we are creating a modern digital health system.
The Health Ministry's Code Care program will continue and seek to do another 1,000 surgeries this fiscal year through public-private partnerships. It also includes the procurement of equipment and supplies, as well as repairs to vital infrastructure.
We are working to repair operating theatres in our public system, 15 operating theatres at a cost of some $750 million, which has been allocated, Madam Speaker.
To provide life-saving diagnostic services, the Health Ministry will augment the outsourcing method for CT scans, MRIs and X-rays with some purchases.
The Ministry has launched a tender process for the leasing of over 49 pieces of equipment to include MRI machines, CT machines and ultrasound machines. The tender will require the management and maintenance under a capital lease agreement for 9 CT scan machines, 4 MRI machines as well as 36 fixed and mobile ultrasound machines.
In a major move to improve service delivery and support primary health care reform, the ministry is taking steps to establish an additional 2,000 permanent posts for doctors in public health over the next year.
What that means, less patient to doctor ratio, more specialists in the system, more doctors at the primary community health care, including and also in the hospitals. When we have more doctors, Madam Speaker, it means that patients will get better care.
Customer care services across public health will be improved with upgraded waiting areas and sanitary facilities in 9 hospitals and health centers, plus increased trained customer service personnel under the revised Compassionate Care Program. Too many Jamaicans are dying young, and the #1 culprit is a confluence of non-communicable oral lifestyle diseases. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is taking aim at the problem in fiscal year 2023-2024. A healthy lifestyle initiative dubbed #KnowYourNumbers will have more Jamaicans doing screenings to know the numbers for their blood pressure, blood sugar, and body mass index, among others.
It's about getting Jamaicans to screen at least once each year to know their health status and what they need to do to modify their behavior to reduce illness and premature mortality. Our target is to do 500,000 screening tests done this year, 2023-24.
Other interventions include a $50 million prosthetic partnership program with the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities. It will provide prosthetic limbs to persons 60 years and younger who are in need to reintegrate into productive activities. A $60 million program will be introduced to provide 10,000 Jamaicans with replacement dentures. The good oral hygiene intervention in schools will also continue. There is also the return of the Cuba Eye Care program. The ministry will also explore and intensify other eye care initiatives, including eye screening for students in 50 schools. Mental health response will be enhanced through expanded community-based interventions and the Do Your Share campaign going to 50 additional schools. Also, a $150 million investment will be made at the Bellevue Hospital to create 2 distinct institutions, a mental health rehabilitation center and a 100-bed mental health hospital. All these are just some of a wide range of transformational work taking place within the Ministry of Health and Wellness for the 2023-2024 fiscal year.
People who are overweight or obese are at a greater risk for many serious diseases and debilitating health conditions. Watch this next feature as we learn how to lose weight and tone the body the healthy way.
You want this lean, muscular physique and well-toned body, framed for the beach, carnival parade, or just your regular dressed down or formal attire. You want to cut the fat and develop that noticeable defined muscle and shape, but not significant muscle size. There's nothing wrong with any of that, as long as you remember the most important thing is not a summer or designer body, but rather a healthy body. By doing efficient exercises and controlling your weight, you can expect to safely lose between 1 and 2 pounds a week on your journey to a more fit body. But doctors recommend that you should not lose more than 1 to 2 pounds per week. For many people, even this rate may be too aggressive in terms of dietary and exercise modifications.
That body is not just going to come overnight. It's not going to come within 2 weeks or a month, depending. It all depends on the type of activity you do, how you do it.
Within 2 months, if you stick to your exercise program and if it's done properly, you will see and feel results. Before starting any structured exercise program, however, persons should first consult with their doctor.
The reason why we need a medical approval from our doctor is that a lot of us have pre-existing health conditions, and some of us are not as fit as we think. For example, in Jamaica, 4 in 10 is hypertensive and they don't know it. And it's the same with diabetes, 4 in 10 and don't know it. And our stats tell us 7 out of 10 Jamaicans die from a chronic disease. We define physical activity by intensity level and the frequency in which we do it. Frequency meaning how often we do it per week. For example, 2 times per week or 5 days per week. The intensity is the energy in which we use to perform the activity, meaning how hard you work out. There's 3 levels of intensity: low, moderate, and vigorous.
If you want to lose weight, the Ministry of Health recommends 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous exercise 5 days per week. To lose and maintain weight, 90 minutes of moderate to vigorous exercise 5 days per week is recommended. There are 2 main categories of exercise, namely aerobic and anaerobic exercise.
What this is saying that the body needs oxygen to break down fat that is stored in the body. All the calories stored in the body as fat need oxygen to break it down, that is in the tissue. So if you want to lose weight, you must do the aerobic activity to burn that fat that we use as energy when we're doing the activity. So the type of activities are like swimming, running, dancing. It is normally done for a long period of time.
When you decide to lose weight, you want results. Results keep you motivated and on track. Cardiovascular exercises are part of the aerobic category, and they help you trim down by burning extra calories. While this helps shed excess fat and strengthens your cardiorespiratory system, it won't build the tone in your muscles that you're after.
Now, when we talk about anaerobic activity, it is activity that does not need oxygen. It's quick, it's fast, it's snap. So most of the time, that activity will help to tone the muscles that we're looking for. But you cannot tone unless, we lose that fat. So you need to do the aerobic activity, then you do the anaerobic activity, which is like the weightlifting, the squats, the push-ups, the jumping, so that now you lose with aerobic and then you tone with anaerobic.
Calories are the name of the game when you're trying to lose weight. Eat fewer calories than you burn and the scale will respond.
Generally, we work with a 2,000 to 2,500 caloric intake per day for the general population. But for each person, their caloric requirements is different because we calculate it based on your specific age, your height, weight, gender, and how physically active you are. Females generally eat less because they carry less muscle mass than men, and so they weigh less. The range is different. For someone who is very slim and short, then maybe 1,800 would be a safe amount to save for that person. But for men, 2,100 would be the lower end of the spectrum.
You may create a caloric deficit, which will cause you to lose weight, but it's best to work with a balanced diet and exercise.
A caloric deficit is when you consume less calories than what you're using for the day. So usually persons try to cut their caloric intake significantly to lose a lot of weight at once, but consuming less than, say, 1,200 calories per day can cause you to have nutritional deficiencies. You can lose muscle and bone, and your body will also go into starvation mode so that you'll stop losing weight altogether.
That's a no-no. The best way to slim down and tone up is to combine balanced diet and exercise. And avoid fad diets such as low-carb, high-protein, or anything that deviates from a balanced diet.
In Jamaica, we have food-based dietary guidelines that are specific to the Jamaican population, but it's based on the 6 food groups in the Caribbean. So we have food from animals, staples, legumes and nuts, fruits, vegetables, and fats and oils.
Losing weight at a rate faster than 1 to 2 pounds per week and regularly skipping meals can leave you feeling extraordinarily hungry so that you binge at the next opportunity, causing weight regain. Plan for 3 balanced meals per day, in addition to 1 or 2 healthy snacks.
You want to include foods from all of your food groups. So say for example you're planning for lunch, you want to include either food from animals or a plant-based protein like beans or nuts. You have your staple foods like rice, bread or pasta, your fruits and vegetables that you can include in a salad, and you can put your fats and oils, for example, like in pear or avocado. Healthy snacks are low in fat, low in salt and low in sugar. So you can have a fruit or vegetables, for example, carrot sticks, or you can use dried fruits and nuts. As a general guide, 1 serving of food from animals is the palm of your hand. A cup of rice is like your fist, and fats and oils is your thumb. That's 1 serving.
Losing fat and retaining or building muscle creates a strong, toned appearance. Do strength training activities that focus on all the major muscles and the entire body, upper, mid, and lower body. Plank is a good full body workout which helps to build strength in your core, upper, and lower body. Those that focus on the lower body include lunges, using the stairs, leg press, and squat exercises that effectively work most of the major muscle groups of the butt, hips, and thighs. Some examples of exercises to strengthen the mid-body abdominal muscles include the side twist, traditional crunch, bicycle crunch, and exercise ball. You can also try other activities to sculpt your legs, tone your thighs and bottom muscles, waist, and abs.
Ensure that you hydrate properly. It is good to drink water before, during and after your activity so you don't get dehydrated. Don't wait until you're thirsty, just take your water with you and sip, little sip as you go along. So make sure you work out at an intensity level that suits you, because every one of us are at a different fitness level.
Getting and staying fit is a lifestyle change, so you have to make exercise a part of your daily routine and eat a balanced diet daily for a happier, healthier you.
Children are the future, and ensuring our future is healthy requires that children are always provided with nutritious foods to grow well and live long. Unhealthy diets high in sugar, salt, and fat consumed by children may make them obese and prone to non-communicable diseases later in life. Healthy foods and beverages not only help them learn better, but also protects them from non-communicable diseases such as some cancers, diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular diseases in their childhood and adult life. So, whether it's at home, in the lunch bag, or at school, let's make healthy foods and beverages for our children the only rule.
All of us at some point in life will need to prove our age, parentage, or nationality. And a birth certificate is a document that satisfies all these. Keep watching our next feature to learn how to go about obtaining a birth certificate.
The Registrar General's Department, RGD, is an executive agency and Jamaica's sole repository of birth records. Every birth that occurs in Jamaica must be registered with the RGD. This establishes a permanent and official record of each person's existence, where they were born and the identity of their parents. This affords the individual the right to an official identity and nationality, which is also the basis for accessing social and economic benefits. The registration process typically begins shortly after the mother gives birth in hospital or a birthing facility where the relevant form is completed by a registration officer. The process is complete once all relevant signatures are affixed to the document and the registration fee is paid. Some parents are required to do a follow-up visit with the RGD for one or more reasons. If the couple is unmarried, they may have to visit to have the father's particulars added to the form. If a child's name was not decided at birth, the parent must submit a certification of naming form. The birth certificate will be issued within 3 months for babies who were named in the hospital. Where the registration of birth is done digitally, the RGD also has the capacity to provide digital birth certificates so that parents will be able to leave the hospital with the document. Beyond bedside registration, to get a birth certificate, you must apply to the Registrar General's Department. This can be done online at www.rgd.gov.jm or by visiting any of the RGD's offices across the country. When applying, ensure that you have the following information for the person or child on whose behalf you are seeking the birth certificate: the full and correct spelling of the person's name, their sex, date, and place of birth, as well as the parish. You also need the birth entry number, full and correct spelling of the person's mother and father's names, date, and place of registration. If you don't have a birth entry number, you will need to fill out an online birth search application form. The birth entry number is on the top right-hand corner of the birth certificate, usually 2 letters and 3 or 4 numbers if you have an old one, and on the certificate of registry or the pink slip. Complete the application form and make the required payment for either the express or regular service using your credit or Visa debit card. The Registrar General's Department lists the costs for getting a certified copy of a birth certificate on its website. The current price to get the first copy is $1,500 Jamaican dollars. Additional copies will cost $500 each. Normally, it takes anywhere between 6 and 8 weeks to process a birth certificate application. However, you can make use of the RGD's 7 to 10 business days express service or 3 to 4 business days express service. If you are overseas, you also have the option of asking a family member or friend in Jamaica to assist you with getting the birth certificate. This option is usually less costly and tends to be the fastest route. Express applications for overseas customers are processed within 7 to 10 business days, and ordinary applications are processed within 4 to 6 weeks. All overseas customers will receive 2 copies of the certificate at costs based on the region in which they reside. If the child was delivered at home or any place outside of a hospital or birthing center, the parents must visit the RGD with an informant, that is, a witness or household member, to register the birth. Ideally, this should take place within 6 weeks of the birth or up to a year, the latest. Persons who fail to register their children's birth within the specified year will have to complete a late registration form. This then creates a record of the birth, which is needed before making an application for a birth certificate. Among the information required for completing the late registration form are your child's first primary or prep school records, baptismal record, 3 statutory declarations, a list of all children born to the mother, and a certificate of naming. A late registration fee of $6,000 is charged for processing in 4 to 6 weeks and $8,500 for 7 to 10 business days. Parents will be interviewed as part of the application process and will receive a birth certificate when the process is completed with the standard RGD service cost and processing time applied.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
We are near the close of Jamaica Magazine today, and in this time remaining, we'll take you along a learning curve to see how the Ministry of Education is promoting the use of technology in teaching.
Hello there, I'm Shauna Murray. As a teacher, I like simple tools that make my lessons more engaging and help my students to love learning. This is why I love the Mimeo. But don't just take my word for it. Let's take a journey today with Mrs. Stephen Stewart of St. Andrew Primary School, Mrs. Paulette Bailey of Granville Primary School, and Mrs. Rachel Whittingham of Flankers Primary School, and see how they use this tool in their daily classes.
Listen to the story. It is giving you information about polygons, and so you have information you must get from the story to put on your sheets. Are you ready? Yes.
In using the Mimeo in the typical classroom, like Mrs. Bailey, you may experience some glitches, but she has shown us how to quickly recalibrate and move on.
Who could possibly be in your story? You're going to go and write it in the Who cloud.
We see that the Mimeo tool is handy for Mrs. Bailey and for Mrs. Stephen Stewart. But how do the teachers themselves feel about the use of this technology?
Love technology. Pretty new to it. I have never had an experience with it, so I was very much new to it. But I really welcomed it wholeheartedly because I was at the slow class, you know. The class to the children really, they were not so strong as other children.
Mrs. Whittingham bridges the use of the tool with the personable strategies of a caring teacher, ensuring all are included. The Mimeo has a wide range of content to make planning and instruction quick and easy. Venn diagrams, preloaded tables, charts, pictures, to name a few. It is a student and teacher-friendly tool. Today, we have seen how the Mimeo tool can be used to bring literacy techniques to life. Do join us next time as we continue our focus on technology in the enrichment program.
This is where we end the program for today. Be here on this station tomorrow, and we will have so much more to share. Until then, there's lots to watch over on our website, jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Remember to live good and do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.